So, you want to create an abstract texture. Well, first you have to texture the abstract, then abstract your texture. Hey guys, welcome on back to TutsByKai. I'm Kai, and today we are back once again in GIMP, but this is going to be working for any photo manipulation application. So, GIMP, Photoshop, whatever else you got, it all works the same way. So, I have 3 images here from pixels.com. That is Pexels.com, not Pix. And I'm like my favorite website ever. And we are going to go ahead and use these 3 images right here to create something kind of abstract. So I'm going to create a new image, and this image is going to be, just for the time being, we'll do 2000 by 2000. Because I don't want to do 1000 by 1000 because that's super small. So we'll do 2000 by 2000. I'm just going to open this back up. And we're going to grab, first of all, I have pretty much a base tone color palette, which is this guy right here, which is just solid blue, almost solid, has a very slight gradient. And then I have a very hard texture and a very soft texture as well. So we're going to be creating something new with these images here. I'm just going to drag this bad boy in, and I'm sure this is not going to be... There we go. Yep, so I want this to be smaller, so I want to get more of the gradient in. So I'm just going to scale that down. But right there, it looks pretty good to me. There we go. And now, because I don't want this to look like water, we're going to be blurring this and doing stuff. But for now, we'll just leave it the way that it is. I'm going to grab our second texture, which is this guy right here. And then we're just scale him up a little bit. And I think this guy, I'm just going to do like... let's do that. We'll do that second. So I'm going to do this blue water first. All right. So the blue water, for the water, what I want to do is I kind of want to... do like some weird shifting stuff. So I'm going to go up to distorts. And like you have a bunch of different... presets and tools here available, and I'm sure you have the same thing in Photoshop. It's just not called the same thing, unfortunately, but we're gonna go ahead and do some cool stuff to kind of distort this. So I'm gonna go and use shift, and shift, what shift does is it kind of slides everything to a specific direction, so it kind of like elongates it. You see what I mean? So it kind of just takes every other pixel line and just kind of shifts it like in a weird space like this. So we have already, you can see we went from completely that's water to like some kind of cool scratched up like aesthetic texture. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK on that, and then I think I'm gonna do it again. So we're gonna shift it some more again, get it even more crazy like that, and then I'm gonna do it again. So I'm gonna go ahead and filters, repeat, and then filter, repeat until we have pretty much a solid layer of just white striping, which is nice. So I think that looks good right there. But you can see we are actually being able to see through the texture here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to grab our eyedrop color, eyedrop a random color of blue, preferably darker, and then go to the background layer back here and just fill that in so that there is no more transparency in that background right there, you see. There we go. So now we have that nice texture, which looks really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just actually merge that down now. And now for our second texture, this guy right here, I kind of want to do like a swirly thing with this guy. So I'm going to use my warp tool right here. And we're just going to turn the strength up a little bit. And I'm going to turn the size down. And we're kind of just going to move things around in like a swirl-like fashion, right? Like this. And kind of just mess everything up. And kind of swirl it around, make it look super distorted and like magic-like, you know. And kind of just get a really cool texture in there. I don't want to see any of these big chunks. I want it all to be kind of swirly. So something like that. And yeah, I think that looks really good. So I want like these really like thin tails kind of going through the texture as well. That's kind of what I'm going for. So I'm just gonna kind of maybe pull those around. Maybe get a new one started right there. That one's kind of big. Oh no. There we go. Alright, very cool. So I just want to make sure it's even at this point. I'm just trying to make sure it's even. And I think that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And now that it's going to complete the warp, I'm going to set this to some different blend modes. Maybe we'll do overlay so it looks like. Looks kind of nice. Maybe we will do soft light. I think I like overlay. We'll do overlay. And then I want to blur this. So I don't want this to be as harsh as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and go to filters, blur, Gaussian blur, and we're just going to bump that up until the shape is only visible but the individual lines are not. So maybe something like that. Yeah, I like that. Give a little bit of texture. Maybe 100. We'll do 100. Yeah. Alright, and then if I hide that on and off, you can see the difference that makes, which is just a nice little thing over top of the image there. And I'm going to just drop the opacity down so it's not as harsh. So now we have a little, just a nice little highlight kind of a little bit in some darker areas. I might actually flip this upside down. No, never mind. Never mind. All right, cool. So I'm going to drag in our final image here, and this bad boy is just a very subtle submit texture. And you can see here how we have that like kind of like painted wall looking thing. I'm going to go ahead and just turn this on overlay, and then we're just going to drop the curves in the color section down so it's not as bright like that. So that looks kind of nice, right? So now you can see what we've done is we've created an all new texture. Now I don't think I like this second texture we created, actually. I don't think I like that. I'm just going to get rid of it altogether. Yeah, because that's how I am. Alright, we're going to get rid of that because I don't even want it. Sometimes it happens, hey, you know. And then I'm just going to put that, the third one, the last one we just did over top of it. So you can see here we have the scratching sideways back and forth, and we also have that nice like kind of bump on there. And I do think that this might be a little too harsh. So I'm going to blur that just a little bit. And we'll blur that by maybe like, oh no, not the bottom one, the top one. We'll blur that by maybe 5 pixels. So we just have a very subtle thing like that. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Okay, sweet. So we'll blur that very slightly. And I don't want this to be blue, or maybe this shade of blue. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And then just go to the curves, brighten it up a little bit, get a little bit more flavor and pop out of this thing. Like that. That's a very nice blue. But I think I want to do something different than blue because I always do blue. So we'll do like, maybe like a seafoam? No, I don't want to do that. I think I'm going to just leave it on the blue, to be honest with you. Always desaturate, lighten it a little bit, desaturate again. I like that. I think that was nice. We'll do a red. Why not? And you might even be able to get away with grabbing this reddish color again, duplicating that, right click, and then duplicate. And then just blurring it a lot. So blur it until it's like super blurred like that, right? Very blurred. And then we can just go ahead and overlay that on top of everything to get more even more vibrant saturated red. Or you can put it on grain merge and get a little bit of that white in there, or hard light and get like practically all the way. So it has a pinkish overlay to it. Then we can just scale that up a little bit like that. And maybe I'll switch this, turn the saturation down a little bit, and we'll switch this to a different color. So maybe something like that. Get like a nice undertone of like an orangish red in there. Yeah, I like that a lot. Very, very cool. So, hope you, ladies and gentlemen, enjoyed it. We took 2 images, technically, and then made a new texture. You can use this on anything you're trying to use it on, to be honest with you. You can even go ahead and do this as solid black, and this one is solid black. All of them is solid black here, right? And then just use this as a bump map texture in Blender, or a scratch texture for something. You just make that solid black, and now you've got some cool scratches for some wear and tear. I don't know what you're doing, but I hope you enjoyed this tutorial anyway, even if you're not doing that at all. I will see you, ladies and gentlemen, in the next one, but until then, bye-bye.